Life is full of mysteries, and one of the greatest mysteries is the path of the chosen ones. They are the rare souls marked by divine light, carrying a mission much larger than themselves. These people walk through fire, storms, and rejection, yet still rise higher than anyone thought possible. But there's something even more chilling to witness: the fate of those who set themselves against chosen ones. When someone decides to fight against a chosen person, they are not only fighting flesh and blood, but the very hand of destiny itself, and destiny never loses. In this video, we are going to explore 9 scary things that happen to enemies of chosen ones. If you're watching this right now, chances are this message found you at the exact time you needed it most. If that's true, type 1111 in the comment section as a sign of divine blessings flowing into your life. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss these powerful revelations that can strengthen your journey. Now, let's dive in. 1. Their plans backfire instantly. Enemies of chosen ones often believe they are clever and strategic, thinking that their traps and plots will be enough to derail the progress of a chosen person. They gather energy, resources, and people around them to design elaborate schemes, and they sometimes smile with satisfaction, thinking they have secured victory before the battle even begins. But what they fail to understand is that chosen ones are not walking alone. They carry the unseen protection of the divine. That means every plan against them has already been foreseen and countered by the higher power that sent them. This is why the first scary thing is always this: the very plans enemies create collapse on themselves. The weapon formed against the chosen one turns against its maker. The energy they put out in malice comes back multiplied, like a boomerang flying in reverse. It's like the universe has a mirror, one that reflects intentions back to the sender without distortion. The trap that was dug for the chosen becomes the enemy's prison. The lies they fabricate tie them in their own web. They realize too late that they weren't fighting flesh and blood, they were fighting destiny itself. And no one has ever successfully fought destiny. This is why many enemies of the chosen often destroy themselves without the chosen ever lifting a finger. Their downfall is often so sudden, so ironic, that even they wonder how things collapse so quickly. But the truth is simple: you cannot plot against what heaven has already blessed. 2. They lose peace of mind. The second scary thing that happens to enemies of chosen ones is invisible, but extremely tormenting: they lose their peace of mind. One of the most powerful weapons of the chosen is not their physical strength, not their wealth, and not even their connections, but their aura, the unseen energy that surrounds them. This aura is magnetic, filled with light and divine presence. When an enemy crosses such a person, their own spirit begins to wrestle with itself. Even if the chosen one says nothing, does nothing, and fights nothing in return, the enemy begins to feel restless. Sleep deserts them, and if they do manage to sleep, their dreams are filled with troubling visions. Their mind becomes a battlefield, filled with paranoia, guilt, and fear. They might still smile in public, post confidently on social media, or laugh with friends, but inside, they are tormented beyond measure. They cannot relax because their spirit knows that they have touched something holy. Enemies of chosen ones often confess years later that they could never find peace after launching an attack against someone who carried divine protection. The chosen don't even have to retaliate. Heaven itself ensures that the enemy's heart is never at rest. This inner torment is worse than any punishment that could be inflicted outwardly, because it gnaws at their soul day and night. Imagine having everything you once wanted: money, comfort, friends, yet being unable to sleep or to silence your own thoughts. That is the curse that enemies of the chosen carry. Their own mind becomes their cage, and it is terrifying. 3. Strange misfortunes begin to follow them. Enemies of chosen ones may think that everything is under their control, but once they step into opposition against divine destiny, things begin to unravel in ways they cannot explain. At first, the misfortunes may appear small. They might miss an important phone call, a simple deal falls through, a car breaks down unexpectedly. But over time, the pattern becomes clear. Nothing is flowing anymore. The more they try to fix one thing, the more two other things collapse. It's as if luck itself has abandoned them. Business deals they thought were sealed fall apart in the last minute. Opportunities that were certain to succeed disappear like smoke. Projects crumble without explanation. Friends they relied on suddenly withdraw. Even their health and relationships start to feel the strain of a curse. What they don't realize is that these are not mere coincidences. They are the fingerprints of the universe correcting the balance. Every action in life has a consequence. And when you rise up against a chosen one, those consequences accelerate. It is like stepping into a river whose current grows stronger the more you try to swim against it. The universe ensures that chosen ones remain elevated, which means anyone working against them automatically places themselves in opposition to the very flow of life. And when life itself fights against you, you cannot win. These misfortunes, one by one, strip the enemy of confidence, stability, and hope, until they finally realize that no amount of human effort can override divine order. 4. They are exposed publicly. Another frightening thing that enemies of chosen ones face is exposure. Many enemies thrive in secrecy. They hide behind masks, lies, and manipulations. They smile in the chosen one's face, but carry daggers in their hands. They pretend to be allies, mentors, or supporters while secretly plotting downfall. For a time, they may even succeed in deceiving others. But here is the terrifying truth. Secrets do not stay buried when it comes to chosen ones. The same divine hand that shields the chosen also exposes their enemies. Things that were carefully hidden begin to leak into the open. Conversations thought to be private suddenly come to light. Lies crumble under pressure. False images are stripped away. Suddenly, what was once concealed is displayed under the spotlight for all to see. And the more they struggle to maintain the mask, the more it falls apart. The humiliation is often public. It might be in front of friends, colleagues, or an entire community. This is no accident. The universe ensures that while chosen ones are elevated and lifted into the light of honor, their enemies are dragged into the spotlight of truth, unable to escape the shame. Exposure is terrifying because it not only ruins reputations, but also erases trust. Once exposed, enemies lose influence, credibility, and respect. Their fall becomes a cautionary tale to others, reminding everyone that you cannot fight someone protected by the divine and expect your lies to stand. The truth will always prevail, and when it does, enemies are left stripped, bare and ashamed before the very people they once sought to impress. 5. Their circle turns against them. Enemies often assume that they have a solid circle, friends, allies, even family members, who will support them no matter what. This false sense of confidence makes them bold in their attacks against chosen ones. But what they don't know is that divine protection does not just cover the chosen, it also rearranges the circumstances around the enemy. A frightening but common pattern is that those who once supported the enemy suddenly begin to distance themselves. A loyal friend may betray them. A trusted ally may walk away. Even family may become cold or indifferent. The support system they depended on crumbles. The very people they bragged about as their backup vanish when they need them most. This isolation is one of the scariest punishments because it leaves the enemy vulnerable and alone. They find themselves standing in the middle of the battlefield with no one beside them, while the chosen one continues to thrive with divine backing. This is no coincidence, it is divine justice. Just as the chosen are surrounded by unseen protection, their enemies are stripped of human protection. Their circle turns against them because the universe rearranges relationships in favor of the chosen. This isolation not only weakens the enemy's power, but also breaks their spirit. It is a reminder that when you rise against destiny, you rise alone. Because even those closest to you will eventually abandon you. And 6. They experience spiritual attacks. The war between chosen ones and their enemies is not only physical, it is deeply spiritual. Many enemies think that they are fighting a person, but they are actually fighting a divine mission. And the spiritual world does not stay silent. Enemies of chosen ones often encounter terrifying spiritual experiences. They begin to have strange, disturbing dreams filled with symbols of warning. They wake up with heaviness, fear, or shadows they cannot explain. Some even experience demonic attacks or unexplained spiritual unrest. Their homes feel uneasy, their nights become haunted, and their spirit feels as though it is under siege. This is because the divine forces that protect chosen ones also send warnings. To their enemies, you are fighting something greater than yourself. And when enemies ignore these warnings, the attacks intensify. No amount of physical wealth, power, or influence can protect them from these invisible forces. Spiritual torment is far scarier than physical battles because it cannot be fought with weapons or strategies. It follows them everywhere, at home, at work, in their dreams. Enemies realize that they are no longer just fighting a person, they are fighting heaven's will. And that battle always ends with their surrender or destruction. 7. Their health declines. One of the most overlooked but terrifying consequences of attacking chosen ones is the decline of health. The energy we release into the world is not lost, it circulates back to us. When enemies release hatred, jealousy, and destructive energy toward the chosen, that negativity returns to them like poison. Over time, this begins to show in their body. Many enemies of chosen ones suddenly develop strange illnesses, unexplained fatigue, or stress-related conditions. Their body begins to carry the weight of the very negativity they created. Sleepless nights weaken their immune system. Stress eats away at their energy. Anxiety begins to manifest in physical symptoms. And in some cases, the health decline is rapid and shocking. Doctors may not always have clear answers, because what they are battling is not only medical, it is spiritual. This is the cost of trying to harm those who are divinely protected. Chosen ones rise, while their enemies fall sick. The irony is painful to watch. The enemy wanted the chosen one to be destroyed, but they end up destroying their own body instead. 8. They witness the chosen rise higher. Perhaps the most painful and humiliating consequence for enemies is this: despite all their attacks, all their energy, and all their plots, the chosen one continues to rise. Every attempt to pull them down becomes fuel that lifts them higher. Every insult, betrayal, or attack is transformed into strength, wisdom, and resilience. Enemies stand helpless as they watch the very person they tried to bury bloom like a tree planted by rivers of water. The chosen one becomes more visible, more recognized, more blessed, while the enemy sinks deeper into frustration and obscurity. This is terrifying for the enemy because it proves that their efforts were not only useless but also counterproductive. The chosen thrive in the very storms meant to destroy them. What was designed as a curse becomes a stepping stone to greatness. The enemy is forced to live with the haunting sight of the chosen one flourishing beyond imagination, a constant reminder that no human can block what heaven has ordained. 9. They eventually face divine judgment. The final and scariest thing is divine judgment. Every action against the chosen is recorded, and there comes an appointed time when judgment falls. Unlike human justice, divine judgment cannot be delayed, bribed, or manipulated. It comes suddenly, sometimes without warning, and it is absolute. This judgment can take many forms: a complete downfall, loss of influence, the crumbling of wealth, or the sudden reversal of life circumstances. Some enemies lose everything overnight. Others vanish from positions of power without explanation. Some even watch as the very things they built with years of effort collapse in a single moment. This is not coincidence. It is the hand of the Most High ensuring that no enemy can stand against destiny. Divine judgment is terrifying because it is final. There is no appeal, no escape, no hiding. Enemies realize too late that every seed of evil they planted was simply accumulating interest, waiting for the day of harvest. And when that day comes, the downfall is swift and irreversible. This is why the wise fear to touch chosen ones, because they know destiny defends its own. Chosen ones are not ordinary people. They are protected, guided, and empowered by forces beyond human understanding. That's why enemies never truly win. If you are a chosen one, take this as confirmation. You don't need to fight your enemies. Stay focused, stay faithful, and watch how the universe itself defends you. This is the Chosen Seer channel. And once again, if this message reached you at the exact right time, type 1111 in the comments for divine blessings. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe so more chosen ones like you can hear this truth. Your time is coming and nothing can stop it. Thank you for watching.